Hey everyone, before we begin the podcast, I'd like to say subscribe to Derrin's new personal channel where he will be exploring Jak and Daxter lore theories. I have the link below in the description. Thanks. Hello everyone and welcome back to GameCast. Now I'm not joined by James, Derrin and Gavin like usual as they were unavailable, so I have a surprise guest on today. Say hello.
Hello everyone, I'm Richie and I guess I was the only one stupid enough to agree to this. So you're stuck with me.
Richie owed me a favour because I actually sold my Nintendo Switch Lite to Richard, and the term of the deal was that he would appear on the show at least once because Richie is one of the funniest guys I know and he has so much knowledge about gaming that he doesn't even realise that he does have. We used to work together a couple of years ago, and the reason we got on so well is that we shared a mutual interest in so much stuff: movies, books, general humour. Singing, yes, we used to love singing.
Duets.
Yes.
A lot of duets.
Our favourite one, I believe, was Beelzebub by Tenacious D.
We didn't know that we both loved that song until one day, I think you just started the first line of it, and then I was just like, and we did it for like fucking 5 minutes straight.
Yeah. Richard was actually going on lunch, and he stopped at the dressing room to come back and keep singing. There was customers waiting and everything. We were just singing Beelzebub.
Fuck off.
Imagine that. It all started just by, there's just... Oh no, what's the first line? What is the first line of Beelzebub?
Oh god.
I think I did start off with the Jack Black part. Or the... What's the other guy's name? Kyle, his part.
Yeah.
There's just no way that we can win.
It was a masterpiece.
We can't. We'll get started. So, anyway, a lot of people wouldn't know this, but GameCast was originally supposed to be Richard and myself until Richie had obligations. He had college and whatnot going on, so he wasn't able to do it. He's actually in a lot of the original artwork for the channel.
I just found out this, by the way, as well.
Yeah. I showed him all the raw footages I had, and I still have them on the computer, and this is well over a year ago. So it's nice to finally have him on the
Feels
channel.
Good to be home. And I'd like to point out, well, you said that you sold me this Switch and then as part of the deal I had to come on here. I actually bought the Switch with money, so this
it wasn't that desperate to get mine. Imagine
please
well, okay.
Give me all your shit. Come on.
So how have you been actually using the Switch? Have you been enjoying it?
I played it for a couple of hours, I'd say. I got the Switch basically because my son bought a Switch with his communion money, and I'm getting sick of it, getting bet by every game that we play together. He always beats me, so I convinced him to get Pokemon Sword or Shield, whatever the fuck one is.
The newest one.
The newest one, yeah, on the Switch. And then I was like, I'll get myself a Switch now and get that Pokemon thing. I've been playing Pokemon since 1999 or whatever it was. That would be something that I can beat Matt. So I bought your Switch and I bought Pokemon Sword or Shield or whatever, and we've played a bit of it, and then he's kind of gone off it, and then I was like, it's not like the old Pokemon.
No, it's not.
I was
that
like,
the 3D one?
Yeah, it's 3D, but it's like half arse 3D job done. Like the Switch is supposed to be like, a console, not just a handheld thing, like, isn't it? Like,
yes, yeah.
So if you showed me that game on a console, like running on a Xbox or PlayStation, I'd be like, this game is fucking shit. Like, it looks shit.
Does it look like the standard of, let's say, GameCube?
No. Looks lower than that. And
really?
But then you have like Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Gorgeous.
That looks unbelievable on the Switch. Like, so it's obviously just a half-assed fucking. They know they can. It's just printing money, like making a Pokemon game.
Like, my original Switch, I bought the normal standard bog Switch at launch.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a launch, got a couple months later when I was allowed to. And I docked it, and I got Breath of the Wild, and it looked fantastic, blown up. But I wasn't getting enough use out of it. The exact same thing that happened again. I wasn't getting enough use out of the Switch, and I got rid of it because it is a console that you're not going to keep in your hands all the time.
Yeah. Like it's just a select few games you're going to want to pick up for like the exclusive Nintendo stuff.
Like Breath of the Wild. I got what's the other one? Link's Awakening. Have you tried that yet?
No, I actually gave that to Jack as well. I gave him Link's Awakening and what was there?
I had Link's Awakening.
I gave him the FIFA as well.
The FIFA, yeah.
I kept the Assassin's Creed as 18th, responsible.
Yeah.
Too late for that.
Do you know actually the FIFA for Switch is actually the FIFA 20 is they use the base model of FIFA 19. They don't change any features bar the stadiums and the uniforms, the jerseys. they did the exact same thing for FIFA 21.
I
so
saw
FIFA
that,
21 is actually FIFA 19.
And they put this bullshit thing, they call it Legacy Edition.
Yeah.
And then they just put it, and they actually have it in their marketing saying, this is just, this is fucking just
a
copy-paste
copy.
job, and we've just changed names.
Like
so lazy.
Oh, it's scandalous. I would make FIFA is not the most entertaining game anyway, but if you're literally just copying and pasting off a handheld game,
and they barely fucking change anything as it is anyway from the Xbox games from one year to next, and they couldn't even bother putting in the bare minimum changes they're doing them into the Switch one. It's just bullshit. They
obviously have the new players and whatnot, but it's so bad. I played the FIFA 20 that I gave you, and I started manager mode, and do you know the way when you have handheld consoles, your interest in a game is nearly halved if it's crap.
Yeah.
And FIFA for me in general is crap. It's like when I was younger I was obsessed with it. I used to be the person that was spending hundreds and hundreds on these Ultimate Team packs. And then as you get older you're like, what am I doing? So I found myself gravitating towards other games. Yeah. So FIFA was always dying out now. They're literally doing nothing to keep me interested in. And maybe I'm not the target demographic.
Sure, they're football Ultimate Team or whatever, so that's what it's all about now, isn't it?
The killing thing about Ultimate Team is FIFA 2013 is when I reached my peak FIFA level, and I was
in my prime.
I was in my prime.
The prime of life.
I was actually good at FIFA 13 for once. I was so shit at the other ones because I played it relentlessly, and I started to kind of come into some money somehow. I used to always have money on me, even though I was in school and I didn't have a job.
That bit dodgy. Where are you getting money from?
I don't know. We don't talk about it.
That's a dark time.
Hand shandies down the docks. Anyway, me and my brother found a dodgy site where you could buy the FIFA points.
Alright.
Not FIFA points, the coins, the in-game currency. So you could get like 3 million coins for €3, which was like fucking hell. Like, let's just say Ronaldo might go for 1 million and he'd be like one of the best players in the game. So we would build these huge teams and no one would beat us. And the killing thing is, those teams never carry over, or you get nothing for that. So you're literally,
once that new version's out,
once FIFA 14 comes out, like it's only ever a means to an end. It's never going to do anything. And I was just like, there's no progression.
Take a step back and think, is this really what
I want to be? Like? And like I've always found that whenever I did play FIFA, no matter how long I played for it, I would always come off angry.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It's so frustrating. And it's so toxic.
I used to hate playing with my friends, and even then, I went back when we played it. We would have been playing. Actually, would have been Pro Evo, 4 or 5 or 6. I don't know which, something around that era, in PS2 era. And I'd actually be fairly good at Pro Evo, so win most of the games. But even still, I just couldn't just get too wound up about it.
Did you find that the intensity afterwards was high? Because are they going to take this bad, or are they going to be bitter? Because that's what I used to find. I used to always lose, and I'd be fucking raging, but I knew it's because I'm shit, not because they're better than me. But I remember in Pro Evo, wasn't there a dive feature and everything?
I think that was
the Japanese went mental at the soccer
in a really early version, or when it was. Do you remember something like This Is Football, or something or International Football? Definitely, I remember this is probably PS1 era, where there's definitely a dive button in it. I don't know. But yeah, you could really troll people with that.
Fucking Pro Evo. FIFA's obviously the best soccer game, but Pro Evo was a lot of fun with customization.
In its heyday, it was way better. The gameplay of FIFA compared to the gameplay of Pro Evo was just on a different level back.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah, back in Pro Evo 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. I think when they moved to 360, Xbox 360 and PS3, I think kind of. They lost a bit, or FIFA got their act together and fucking tried to actually, because they had the license, they were kind of skirting on them, but actually Pro Evo was so much better back then that a lot of people, I remember, all my friends, we all played Pro Evo instead of FIFA.
What used to kill me though is we had the PSP version and we didn't have the small micro SD memory card. We didn't have one for the PSP big enough to save everything. So we used to go in, we used to say, don't turn off the PSP, don't let it die, and we would just keep playing it. So we used to customize all the teams and all, and get Merseyside Blue into Man City and Merseyside Red into so on and so forth. For some reason Tottenham were the only team that ever had their fucking kit in that one. And every time the PSP died, we'd have to go back and do it all again.
Fuck off, you did.
This is for a year, a solid year. And I remember being so defiant in actually saying no, I'm not going to stop. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing this. Because I had given my brother money to go in and buy WrestleMania 18 on DVD, and he came home with that shit. So I was like, right, I'm going to fucking show him that we're going to get the most out of this money. I'm going to play this fucking game, and I'm going to show him that he did not get one over me by spending my money on shit.
That's cheek. Did you ever get your WrestleMania?
18?
Yeah.
I think it was WrestleMania 17 I was up for. Hulk Hogan versus Vince McMahon. That WrestleMania was actually shit, so he actually probably did me a favour there. 18 is the best one. But other than Switch, have you been playing anything else?
Playing a lot of Fortnite, which I fucking hate.
You're probably stuck playing that.
Yeah, I have to play that. Hate that game. Just needs to just fuck off and die.
What's the most unredeeming quality of Fortnite?
Oh, it's just like I've grew up on playing online multiplayer shooters like COD or Battlefield, where if you get the drop on someone, he's fucked. He can't do nothing about it. Like you bang bang, yeah, fuck it. But with these kids, like you get the drop on them, and then bang, 2 seconds they have a fucking 2-story fucking fully furnished mansion built, and a fucking sniper nest on the fucking top of it, and you're standing in the open holding your dick out, and they're just fucking popping you. Like it's not fair. It's not right. It goes against all that's holy and natural. And the skins and the dances are fucking. They cost a fortune.
Yeah, it is online gambling.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, actually, at least with Fortnite, you know what you're getting. There's no like loot box thing you open up. You just like, I want that skin. And I have fucking €4.
It's better than. Have you heard the controversy of Battlefront 2?
Yeah,
where you had to pay to get like Vader and all that. Otherwise you had to go for hours and hours.
When they originally released it, like there was a fucking uproar about it. Like it was pure pay to win like stuff.
Pay to win, exactly. Yeah. Like in a Star Wars game that has, when I would go back a bit, Battlefront 1 came out, DICE's version, not the original LucasArts classic. Yeah. When the DICE version came out, they had no campaign. And the multiplayer was really, really limited. And they only had a selection of heroes and villains and so forth. And they had planned, let's say, for each quarter of that year to release a new installment. So they had the Battle of Bespin, and then they had the other one and so forth. And I just remember thinking, like, I literally paid to have the menu screen, and I have to pay the rest to get the game. So I was already in a bad mood.
Yeah.
So then when they announced Battlefront 2 and they said it has a good campaign and they went
we've learned from our mistakes.
Yeah, we learned from our mistakes now.
This is going to be fucking what you wanted.
And it was the same shit. I was like, really? What the fuck? Like the campaign is very poor. If you were actually playing through the campaign, the character has no significant impact at all in the campaign. Like what happens anyway. They had no
nothing to do with you. You're just fucking wandering out doing your own thing.
Yeah. Then the multiplayer. I tried the multiplayer, and it was good, and it was a lot easier to get used to than.
Is it good? Because I got EA or Access or whatever like that. I bought that thinking that I'd get FIFA 21 for free because I was like, I got the Graw. I wanted to get back into FIFA. Now we're going to so I got that, and then realised that actually no, it's not free.
No, they give
it's
you
only
the
selection.
Ones.
Yeah. So I was looking at Battlefront 2 and I started downloading. Now you know my internet is shocking.
Richie lives in Stonyford, which is kind of the next village over, and it's literally like somewhere from the hills of Eyes. You get lost in there with no signal, you're just gone.
And there is like literally inbred freaks rolling around the place. No. But anyway, that thing I saw is like 90 gigs, so that's a commitment for me to start downloading it. So I was like, what is he used to do? He used to bring your hard drive into McDonald's, and
download the games onto that
on an external hard drive, and then bring it home and then switch it onto the actual computer.
Yeah.
But just couldn't be arsed doing it now. So, and my internet is a bit better than what it was. So I just started downloading it, and you know in EA whatever Origin or whatever, you can start playing it after like it gets a third of the way
and you can do like the demo version.
Yeah. So I fucking cracked that open. And it's against the bots, and it's like just one of them.
Ren you're running around.
Yeah. And it was just like start playing. And I was like, this is shit. I'm not committing to another 60 gigs of this download. So, but I don't know. Like, would it be worth it?
Well, I think the player
just playing with the bots and stuff like that. It's kind of like, oh, this is.
From what I've seen online, because I just gave up on it after about 3 months.
Yeah.
The let's say the player group are just fucking arseholes. I'm sorry if you do play Battlefront 2 and you're a nice guy, but...
It's been out a few years now. Everyone who's there has probably been playing it for...
Yeah. Like, forever. I don't like the idea of dropping into a fucking war zone of a game where everyone is like level 100 and you're like level 1. Yeah. And you just know EA and DICE are so shit and they don't care that they're going to drop you in there with those high rated players.
Yeah. At this stage, there's probably no lower rated players knocking around anyway. Yeah. Like, you're going to have to go in with the big boys.
And even then, you're going to be fucking paired with those guys. And it's going to be just like, oh, high rated players, stay with us. You're the one spending the money. Yeah. So, what the hell have I been playing? Oh yes, I downloaded Devil May Cry 5. I've never played any of the original games. Have you?
Oh yeah. I played one... Devil May Cry 2, I want to say. Like, we rented it back in the good old days of Extravision. Me and friends had a little sleep. Oh, we rented... Didn't know what Devil May Cry was. And we rented Devil May Cry 2. One of the boys absolutely hated it, and two of us thought it was fucking good. Well worth the rent.
What do you think about that style? You know, hack and slash, move on to the next area, hack and slash, with no kind of real in-between?
You don't really see it as much anymore, do you?
No. It's very... Well, it's obviously nice very Japanese.
Yeah. It's nice to go back to that. Like, you get sick of open worlds. Like, every game's open world now, and... You know, the same kind of formula. Something like that I think is nice.
I'm liking it. I can see where the hate is, but I like that those games generally aren't very long. But like, let's say if you have a hack and slash game that lasts for like 25 hours, you're just like, oh my god. Like, what recently kind of suffered from it was Final Fantasy VII, the remake. That is kind of a hack and slash style game.
Is it? Yeah.
And it is like 30 hours long.
Just
it's just grind. And like, the enemies are all kind of the same. Like, obviously every zone has like their own set of enemies, but they're all brutes. Like, it's...
I used to be mad into Final Fantasy until Final Fantasy, I think 13 came out on the PS3, and I got that and I was like, oh, because like, I remember from my childhood Final Fantasy 10 was amazing. Final Fantasy 7, I kind of played that a bit, didn't really get into it, I was a bit too young for that, I think. But then anyway, Final Fantasy 13 came out, and it was just literally one long corridor of you just running down it. Like, there was no exploring or anything like that. And the fights was just basically press X, just keep pressing X at it. Like, it was just terrible. Man, maybe it got better. Like, I think, I remember reading that after a while it opened up a bit more and you could do a bit more. But it's just like, how can anyone think this is...
It does give you the option of changing into the traditional kind of RPG style.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. All I can remember is just like press X.
No, the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh,
but if you were to play,
can you go to the turn-based?
You can go to turn-based, but the problem is,
I'd buy it for that.
The game will last you 60 hours doing it that way because there is so many people to fight.
I'd like that just for the nostalgia though of that. Oh, do you know that turn? You take a turn. Is it that thing?
Yeah. Like, remember Lord of the Rings: The Third Age?
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Oh, I might have a look at that then.
Yeah, and
because I'm actually playing another one like that called Dragon Quest 11. I bought it like 2 years ago.
I think you were telling me about it.
And it's kind of, it's like Final Fantasy, like the exact same, but like they're a big deal in Japan. Apparently, like whenever a Dragon Quest game comes out, they have to shut Japan down for like a day, for a holiday or something like that. Like, that's really big. Like, everyone goes nuts for it. But I've been playing that a bit actually because I had a few days off there, so I said I'll actually start trying to play that. It's good, but like the story is really kind of basic and really kind of Japanese RPG type thing. It's the same. You played the game before, but it's nice. It's grand.
That's why I actually like Final Fantasy VII's story. It was obviously quirky as fuck, like, because it's a Final Fantasy game and the Japanese are mental when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I like the characters. This is obviously only part 1. Part 2 is coming out next year.
Oh yeah, they split it up.
Yeah, they split it up because it's so... Yeah, exactly. But if this is only 1/3 of a game, holy Jesus.
It's going to be fucking massive.
Like, it's 2 discs, I guess how big it is. First disc is
That's a nice little throwback.
The first disc is pure, like, installation. Then the play disc is on the second one. It's like the way if Red Dead 2 was released. So, yeah, I've been playing Devil May Cry 5, and I had no knowledge of the series. It was actually Derrin who was talking about it, and I watched him play it before a very, very long time ago. And I've actually today I just got to the sequence that I originally saw him play. And I was like, holy fuck, Jesus, he was a fair good bit through this when I came in. I never played any of the series, but I had him tell me very fast what I needed to know. Then I went online and I went and fucking some idiot wrote into the video of that, like, explains everything. A fucking huge spoiler. And then I just
why
went...
are you going online? Oh, trying to
do the
backstory.
Timeline up to 4.
Dodgy.
Then I just messaged there and I was like, Ray, explain to me why this happened. I don't care about spoilers. I just want to understand and I want to enjoy. There's a character called V in it, and obviously with the hack and slash, the main character is obviously severely overpowered, and it's all about looking cool and so on and so forth. There's one character in it who's actually, he's so weak that he's actually not able to physically attack people.
And you play as him?
Yeah, you attack people using these mystical beasts that you summon. Shadow and Griffin, they're called. Obviously one's a griffin and one of them is like this Black Panther kind
a griffin
of thing.
You say?
Yes, a griffin. So I was like, this is really fucking strange. Like, and I'm struggling to see if I like it or not. I love the character. The character is really mysterious and creepy and all. But playing as him, you feel under constant threat because you control these. Like when you press, like I'm using the Xbox controller. So when you press X and Y, you send them out to attack individually. But you have to like kind of focus. Let's say if you're an enemy coming towards me, I have to lock onto you and press X and Y by X and Y by X and Y by and have them attack you and you. But there could be a guy coming to the side towards V, and he could attack me and I'm completely vulnerable. I can't do anything. I have a little sword cane that I can just like jab, but it does nothing. Like
it's more of a
it's to finish.
Feck off.
Yeah. Fucking cunt. So obviously playing as Nero, who's one of the main protagonists as well, and Dante. Two of them are pretty cool.
Dante's the only lad.
Dante was in Devil May Cry 2. Yeah. Nero was introduced in Devil May Cry 4, if I'm not mistaken, in the Order. I don't know. That's his group that he started off with. And the game's going in weird order. It's like 1, 4, 2, 3, something like that. I don't know. I just know the general premise of the game. But Devil May Cry 5 is probably one of the most gorgeous games I've ever seen. So beautiful. I got it really, really cheap online off a questionable site. And it's a game where you could just replay it over and over again and just have so much fun with it. The missions only last about 20 minutes.
Not bad.
Yeah, you can just slaughter through them. I'm looking forward to do New Game Plus on that one, maybe. We'll see. So, yeah, Devil May Cry 5. Here's a question I always wanted to ask you. We talk a lot about Metal Gear on this channel.
Yes.
When do you remember the first time you seen Metal Gear?
I played Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PS1.
At launch, like, or was it out a while?
I can't remember. What year did it come out?
99.
No, yeah, but probably around when it came out, because I remember just at the house I was living at that time would have been around that. I remember we were playing, me and my friend were playing it, and it was a part where, do you know Psycho Mantis, when you fight him the first time, and that's freaky enough as it is, where he can tell what he can read your save game, your memory card, and tell what you're playing. Like that was enough to freak me out. But I remember me and my friend were playing, like we're 9 years old, and what's your one in it? The red hair one. Mel, yeah. She gets possessed or something, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And basically she's possessed by your man Psycho Mantis, and she starts fucking saying to Snake something like, "Make love to me, Snake, make love to me." And that's just right when she says that, my mother walked in, the two of us playing, and we were like, "Oh my god," like fucking trying to fucking freaking out, like, 9 years old, like, we shouldn't be playing this, and she's saying dirty things on the fucking on the TV. So yeah, vivid memories of that. We could never finish the thing, it's too hard. I think we got
where you have to switch the controller, did that all?
Oh no, we bet no. Yeah, I think, how did we figure that out? Because would have been no internet or anything like that.
No.
I don't know how. Maybe like probably from the playground, like lads.
No, I think the guy tells you after a while.
Oh, does he? Yeah. Here, listen, lad, you fucking idiot. Plug the fucking controller out.
Yeah. I seen a video once before of Darryl Breen. He was playing Metal Gear, and he was like,
the comedian.
Yeah. He's a big gamer, and he was playing Metal Gear, and he's like, Jesus, when the people die, like you nearly want to lay a wreath down for them now. They're gone so realistic. And he goes, I was playing Metal Gear. And every time you die, the main character called Snake, and a big voice comes over the screen and goes, Snake, Snake, Snake. And he goes, this is over and over again every time. You think after like the 6th time you go, Snake. So you're saying you're playing with your friends there. When you were younger, what were the kind of games that you and your friends would generally play? Like,
sure, would have been PS1 games, like those early FIFAs. I remember I seen you did a video about it. Maybe it was because I brought it up sometime. Star Wars Jedi Power Battles.
No, that was a game I generally played when I was younger. Yeah,
but we were really, that was because that was a 2-player game you could play as well. So like, yeah, that was a big one. Another one. Do you remember a game series called Siphon Filter?
Yep. Yeah.
It
was like I don't know. I don't.
It was like a poor man's fucking third-person shooter, like James Bond. No, it wasn't.
It was kind of like Dino Crisis, James Bond. Well, not Dino Crisis. Jeez, that's completely wrong. Dino Crisis is not like that. I remember it. Yeah.
We used to play that a lot because you could play multiplayer on that as well, like fighting each other.
Was it not like GoldenEye?
Never got into GoldenEye. Didn't know anyone who had a Nintendo 64 or whatever he needed for that. So, what's the PS2 games, like Star Wars games? Like.
Star Wars, yeah. Did you play one of my favorites? Probably the top co-op game we played when we were younger on the PlayStation 2 was Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Arguably the best movie-based game.
Oh yeah.
There were 16 levels. You played as, in one column you played as Frodo and Sam. In the middle column you played as Aragorn, Gimli and Legolas, and the third one you played as Gandalf solely, and you could play co-op in each of those and add in different characters and so on. So
that was a great game because like on a sleepover you could start at like the first level of that and hammer through it in like whatever, like a few hours to get through at least one of the, because wasn't there like three? Yeah,
there was three tiers, and at the middle they met at the Black Gate, which was pretty much, and then on the top mission was the battle between Sam, Frodo and Gollum in Mount Doom. And then you can unlock bonus rounds and so forth. But it was so cool when, if you finish the game and you obviously had a memory card, you go back into your save and you could play through any of the missions as any of the characters, and you would unlock Faramir, Eowyn, and who's the third person you unlocked? Faramir, Eowyn. I remember in the Two Towers you unlocked Isildur to play as instead of Aragorn. Who's the third character? No, there was four. Wasn't it Merry and Pippin? You could unlock them in the Return of the King as well.
Was it the same developers that did the Two Towers that did the Return of the King?
Yeah.
Because there was like, it seemed like they really took the lessons they learned from Two Towers. And
did you not like Two Towers?
No, it was good, but it wasn't as tight or as slick as Return of the King.
It
like
was
the combat
very early on.
You could see like there's something good. They had something good there, and then bam, the Return of the King. Like probably one of the best movie games tie-ins ever. Like
maybe a list from a future date. I remember going over to my cousin's house because we lived in an estate in the local town, and he lived across the road. And I remember going over and walking in. He was playing the Two Towers and Lord of the Rings, and I remember just thinking, "But that's a movie. Like, how could that be this good? Like, like your brain just fucking exploded. How could the Two Towers, an amazing movie, make this such a cool game?" And I was like, "But this didn't happen in the movie." And I was like so invested. I was like, "I need to know what happens in this level." The one I'm thinking of is when he's evacuating the people out of the village in Rohan.
That sounds... Yeah, I remember like watching that and thinking, I don't remember seeing this in the movie. Was that a clip from the Return of the King they actually had in the Two Towers game?
I can't remember, man.
Because I have that vivid memory as well of thinking, I haven't seen this in the movie, or like didn't remember seeing this.
It's like in the Fellowship of the Ring at the very start when it shows the orcs and goblins pillaging all those villages, you can see a shot, and I'm fucking positive that they used the scene in the Two Towers as a full scene. Like I was like, Jesus Christ, that looks so familiar. I must go back and watch it and see if I can find it again. But those are the kind of games we were playing. The Return of the King was a massive one, mainly because I'm a twin, so we needed something that two people could play. True, and then we never really fucking played together anyway. It was always whenever our cousin came over, we played with him. We had The Sands of Time, which is a game I always talk about and hold so close to my heart. Have you seen that they're remastering that thing?
I did actually look at it. Yeah, I think I saw a video of it. Didn't look like the graphics didn't look amazing. I don't think did it, or I might.
It looks like a PS3 launch game. Like
I don't think.
Or do you know actually what? Do you remember the Wii? The way that like it would down quality from.
Yeah.
It looks like that. Like it's poor, and that game, honest to God, it's so close to my heart. So close, because it was one of those first games that like when you come into life and there's obstacles that you can't overcome, and you dig deep. And you get your cousin to finish the game for you.
There's a real life lesson there.
Yeah.
Get someone else from it.
That was one of those moments where we just, for months and months and months, we fucking stuck at this game, all of us. Now, he was obviously the main player, but me and my brother would try. Like, it was in our house.
Like, though, when you were younger, there was just games that you were just too shit at that you would get stuck and you just couldn't complete them.
Yeah.
Now it's like, just kind of lose interest sometimes in most games.
I think back then, though, the reason why we stuck at it for so long is because we were obviously so poor, and there was no internet to ruin the game on us, to spoil it.
Yeah.
And third, what was it? We have money now. And like our attention spans obviously as people, because there's so much content coming at us all the time.
Yeah.
Like you just can't keep up. Like
there's something new, something shiny over there.
Like that's partly why Fortnite is so popular, is because there's new stuff being thrown at
them
all the time.
There's new stuff.
Like let's say, what was it? I was looking forward to their Like, I was looking forward to Last of Us 2 for so long, and then like as soon as it was over, I was like, that's nice. But what's next? Like the 5 minute span was gone, and I forgot about Last of Us 2. And I was like, wait, I just finished a fantastic game. I need to breathe this in.
Yeah.
Like when you were younger, you didn't have that. You didn't have the internet. You just had the memories, and you had the playground where you went to the kids and, oh fuck man, did you play that game?
How do you fucking do it?
How do you fucking do it? Oh man, you hit X and Y and it'll be completely wrong.
No, you see, fucking Mew is back there in the truck. Do you remember that? Did you have that rumour going on in Pokemon Blue?
See, that Pokemon, I didn't have a Game Boy until I want to say the summer of 2003 when I went to to fucking, where was it? What's the famous destination everyone goes on their fucking leaving cert holidays in Spain?
Alicante? Or
No. I think it's a proper fucking party place.
Ibiza?
No, I went there as well. I went to Ibiza, Alicante.
Tenerife?
It'll come to me anyway. We went to this place that we had no business fucking going in, and it was just
not a child kid friendly place, was it?
No, like it's
just pure raves.
Yeah, like anytime, like let's just say, whenever the people on Good Morning Ireland or whatever, whenever they're giving out about young lads being stupid, it's always this fucking place they go to do something stupid. And Santa Panza.
Oh yeah.
Don't you just go out and you fucking get drunk and cause rape and all. Here's the story actually. Sorry, this isn't going to be gaming related, but my brother, I think he went to Panza. He was definitely in Spain anyway, at one of these kind of places, right? And he went with his girlfriend, and I can't remember what happened. I think he said, right, I'm going to go for fags, is that okay? And she goes, yeah, fine. And this was at like, I think it was late in the evening, and he was snapping, like Joe, you just generally snapping away. You don't, obviously, because you're fucking impossible to get a hold of. So he's snapping away anyway. He snapped one of the lads, and he put the location on, and your man snapped him back. Where are you? And he snapped him back, saying, I'm in Santa Panza. And he goes, hang on. half an hour later, your man shows up. He goes, well, boy, how are you getting on? And it was a fucking lad we were in school with, like. So then, at 3 o'clock in the morning or something, my brother and the lad walked back into the fucking room, and she was like, where the fuck were you? Oh, I met Putsy there, and I went to like a Martin Garrix concert down the road there or something.
Class.
Didn't get the fags.
Oh fuck, I'll go back for the fags.
I was surprised he came back with a fucking head, to be honest with you. But yeah, we were in, like, there was a segue and a half, but we were in this fucking mad shithole. And it was a shithole, to be honest with you, but we saw a chemist down the road, and for some reason the chemist was selling Game Boy Advances. And we had just had our
dodgy Game Boy Advances.
We had our confirmation, so we went in, we bought a purple one, and it was a solid purple one, and it was a clear,
I know the one you can see
one. Yeah, you can see through all the wires now, and I thought, wow, this is cool, but now it looks shit. So we bought that, and we bought Star Wars Attack of the Clones, and
I'd say that was shit.
Fucking terrible, man. It was
it's
so
rare you find a good Game Boy game, like advanced game. A lot of shite came out on that.
A lot of shite came out. They were just pumping.
You have to wade through the shite.
Any game that was ever made, there's a fucking Game Boy Advance port of it. Yeah. We got that, and I think we got a Super Mario. And the Super Mario looked gorgeous on it, obviously. Yeah. The Attack of the Clones was it was like a side-scrolling hack and slash game for all the work, but the problem was you only had like 3 lives, and you had 3 lives for the entire game.
Oh fuck!
And I'm pretty. There must
like
have
an
been
arcade game put into
a Game Boy. It is a fucking arcade game. And I remember always getting to fight Jango Fett on Kamino as Obi-Wan, and he would fucking trouse me, and I have to start again. And it's so hard that eventually
unacceptable.
Can't do this shit. Because when you
makes that and thinks, oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
I remember looking it up, and like recently,
people are like that.
People are like, it's so fucking hard. Why did they make this game so fucking hard?
I think back then, just like stretch out the game length of it. Like it's probably, if you could get through it in one go, it'd take you like 2 hours or something like that. So like, wait, make it fucking impossible.
Yeah.
And stretch the fucking thing out of it. Like stretch the shite out of it.
So yeah, we bought those, and that's, I can't remember the original concept. Anyway, we bought Game Boy Advances then, so we missed a lot of the Game Boy period. So we didn't have, we had a PlayStation 2 at home.
You didn't miss much.
No. Well, then the Game Boy served its purposes. Let's say if you had the Switch or the Game Boy. Let's say you have the Switch now. You're obviously a lot busier now, but try compare them. Which one, if you had 20 minutes, let's say waiting for a bus or something, would you be more likely to pick up and play?
If I had like now,
let's say you compare your mindset now
Yeah.
to before. Like when you were younger and you had 20 minutes to kill, you're like, oh, fuck, I'll play the Game Boy. Now you're not going to go.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not
Switch.
going to take it out. No.
Because
It's not going to have it on me.
It's too much of a chore. Because the Switch, it's so expensive. Like I remember Game Boys, they probably were around the same price, but you could fuck those things at a wall.
Yeah,
they weren't going to break.
Yeah.
The Switch, you nearly want to cover it all the time.
Yeah.
So I think kids nowadays miss out on that a lot. When we're talking about gaming, I know it changed for me here and there and all, but what primary kind of style of a game do you like play? Kind of like story orientated, or gameplay orientated, or let's say online? Like what kind of attracts you to a game? Like what do you see on the Steam store and you just go, fuck?
I like usually what I be spend most of my hours playing. Like if I looked on Steam now, would be strategy games or 4X games. So yeah, more about the gameplay and more about like the story you can build yourself. You know, like like you make your own story. Like say like you're Emperor of Rome and you want to conquer this, and you know you're planning the shit, and you've all your generals, like you make up little stories from it. You obviously make, but like in your head, like you won that battle there, like fucking.
And we're obviously talking about total war, Rome.
Total war, yeah. Or all them Total War games, play a lot of them. So yeah, that's probably what I'd be looking at most. Like.
Is that because you can kind of like you can pick up and you can come back a couple of months later and you know exactly what's going on? Like
yeah, there's no story or like you know you have to what the fuck was going on here? Like even though I've never actually finished a Total War campaign, like
I have.
Probably like years and years ago, like, but now like I just play like a few hours with one. Then do you know when you get to the stage where well, I've won this, like, but it's just a matter of actually fucking clicking the buttons to actually fucking spend the next few hours doing it.
It took me so long to win it. I have you obviously got me into Total War, and I don't have the patience and all to sit down and do all the battles, so I like quick simmed everything, and I just
that's the best part. Then you may as well be fucking doing nothing. Then
I know I missed out big time. I played a few of them, like, and I won a few of them, but they were obviously like I was going in with like 4 armies, and I was battling like fucking Qatar,
so
like that, some small little shit.
There was no way you were
going to lose. Yeah. I won, like, let's say if I was coming up, and the other way it gives you like the win percentage, like 31%. I would play those ones and just focus on killing as many of those bastards as I can. And then like let's say half in their one, and then I'd bring in my bigger army and just sim it because I knew I was going to win anyway. That would be the kind of style I would do if I knew I'm going to get fucking killed here.
Take as many fuckers
out as I can. That was my kind of strategy. I remember I sat down after you told me to play Total War, and I did this with my strategy and all. I simmed, let's say, about 80% of the battles. I can lie. It still took me 30 fucking hours to get through it because I was that was my first time ever playing it, and like I struggled to get out of Italy. For like the first hour, I didn't understand what was going on, why I was being attacked, why I couldn't upgrade, why I couldn't do anything. Like,
yeah, it's kind of hard to. Like, there's a whole lot of shit you have to know before, like, that I just know instinctively from years of playing it. Like, for instance, there was Football Manager 2020 that was free on Epic's Game Store there a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh, fucking get that, nice one, free game. But I opened up and I was like, where do I even begin here? Like, I'm sure, like, anyone who's been playing Football Manager for a few years, it's just like second nature. You can just go in and start fucking around with it. But I was just like, oh, there's too much going on. I haven't looked at it since. Like,
I played Football Manager for years. Like, I'll always play about, let's say, in real time, I'll play it for about 4 weeks. Not like in game, Jesus, but like over 4 weeks, I'll keep turning on and off and on and off and on and off. And then I just get bored and I turn it off. But I know like how it goes. And the first Football Manager I played was Football Manager 2005 on the Windows Vista, and I would actually say I had more fun playing the 2005 version because it was so basic, generic. If you went in to sign a player, there was no fucking, oh, my agent fees are you'd have got the player you didn't like. And like, it just nowadays
you think they've overcomplicated it.
I don't want to actually manage Manchester United. Like, I just want to have the glory.
Just let me feel the fucking.
Let me feel like Fergie did. Like it's like.
I don't want to be organising the fucking cleaning rota for the fucking Jacks.
Yeah, like fucking organising like specific trainings for these individuals, like focus on his right foot. Like I don't.
You're a Mike Bassett kind of manager. Did you ever see Mike Bassett football or England manager? Oh, it's just it was like a mockumentary film. It's a funny one. You should watch that. I think it's like on YouTube, in parts on YouTube. Oh, it's so funny. It's just it's like taking the piss out of. English managers. Like, I write me play. I write my team sheet on the back of a pack of fags. And then
my grandfather actually did that.
These two owl lads show up for training one day. It's like, who the fuck are they? And he's like, Tony Benson and John Hedges. It's like, because you wrote them on the back of a pack. Okay, so watch that. That's another segue here.
Send it on to me.
And anyone watching this should watch it as well.
Yeah, it's great. Dead right. I'm not going to post a link in the description though. I always say I'm going to post the links. Forget to fucking post them. So yeah, Football Manager is a game that I do, like, let's say if it's going cheap, I'll pick it up and I'd probably play it for about an hour or two. Like, I made us in the fucking game.
I remember you were saying that, yeah. But then you fucked up a meeting, didn't you? I don't.
Yeah, I went into Football Manager editor and I made all of us, and I took like fucking like Swansea or something out of the whatever league they're in the game, and I put in Thomastown AFC, which is the local soccer club, and I made like all the guys that I know and all, and like sent it on to him as a laugh, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm actually going to play with this game." And I made Richie in it, and I think he's a left back in it, and I made him the best left back in the world. And I forgot to fucking assign him to Thomastown, so now he's scoring unbelievable goals for PSG.
Living the life well, better than fucking Thomastown, isn't it?
Sacre. And it says on my one, Jay Walsh is valued at 185 million. He spent his entire career at Thomastown AFC and is yet to make a single appearance. I remember taking a picture and sending it to the lads I played soccer with, just going, well, they're not wrong. So strategy games. What has been your favourite of all the strategy games? Probably Total War Rome, is it?
But yeah, but now I probably played most is Total War Warhammer 2.
Warhammer, yeah.
That's just because they basically took the Total War formula and just cranked everything up to 11 and just said, fuck it, we can do whatever we want with here. Because, Total or Warhammer, they have like
crazy rules.
Crazy fucking, alien. And they're not aliens, they're like, it's like a medieval setting, but then they have like lizard men and frog men and rat men and fucking shit like that. It's just crazy. Like,
it's like Skyrim on fucking acid.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Yeah. So that's probably like, just the way they can have all them different monsters and magic and shit like that. Just probably pipped it now.
Yeah.
But I haven't played it in a while. I'm trying to steer away from it because I'm trying to trying to play in Red Dead Redemption 2 there.
Normal games.
Yeah, normal game, story game to try to get. But like, I don't know, something about it's just kind of boring. The story is great and the graphics are unbelievable, but I think it's like the gameplay is just kind of like you're doing the same fucking thing. You rock up to a bunch of lads, auto aim to. When you put out the gun, it just aims at them and then you just pop them and then you do the same again. It's just, I don't know. So like, then I can feel it's like just fucking start up with the Total War Warhammer there.
You hear the devil on the side.
Yeah.
I finished Red Dead and it took me very long. Do you know the opening sequence where you're up in the mountains and stuff? Yeah. I hated that because it's so slow and takes a while to get out of there, and I just hate it. And my game crashed and I had to uninstall and reinstall Red Dead 2. I just had to do it all again, and you're up there for about 2 hours. Like,
you spend a good bit there. Yeah.
Fuck this. And once I got past that, I literally just you can be shit about side quests.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what I need to do because I've been like trying to do a bit of this and
go straight for story because like you don't need to give money or anything because you pick up bullets and shit so quickly and once you get further into it, that's when you kind of stop for like an hour and you go, right, I'm going to go buy all the cool top guns and all because they can become unlocked as story progresses. Then, what did I do? You stop for like an hour or two and you get yourself the cool outfits, get your style going the whole way you want and all that kind of stuff. And then you keep going with the story. And like that's how I played it. And then afterwards I said, fuck it, I'll go back and do some of the side quests. And the same thing happened. I went, I'm not interested. I don't care.
Yeah, that's probably what
it's too big to not do the main story, I think. Like there's people out there who probably fucking still haven't finished the game since it launched because they're playing the side quests.
Yeah, maybe I'll just try hammer into a few of the main story ones.
I'd understand doing the side quests if it's a game where enemies are leveling up as the story progresses, but in Red Dead they're all the basic set tier level. Like.
Yeah, and you're not like missing out. You're not missing out on experience points or whatever. Like by not doing them, you're not going to be under leveled for the main story or whatever. Like in The Witcher or something.
Yeah, exactly. The Witcher is the perfect one I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
you have to do the side quests.
Yeah, or you're going to be fucked. Yeah.
Like I think we both got The Witcher pretty much around launch.
Yeah.
And have either of us finished it fully?
No. I did finish one of the DLCs. What was it?
Blood and Wine or...
No, the other one.
What was the other one? Gavin actually, who's on the podcast, loves The Witcher, and that's his favourite game ever.
Yeah,
We forget the fucking name.
I was going to replay it there, but then I heard that they're going to be doing a kind of, like Skyrim brought out a special edition or whatever like that. They're going to be doing something like that with them, so I'm going to wait for them to release that before I give that another crack.
Yeah.
Start from the start. Like, what was it called? The second?
Blood and Wine and what was the other Witcher fucking DLC?
Well, that one anyway. I finished that one. That was unbelievable.
Finish the second one. I don't know. I'll Google it.
I think it came out before the Blood and Wine one.
The Witcher.
The Grimm or something. There's something. Or
I can't believe I forgot, because usually I'm pretty good with this fucking stuff. I can't even spell Witcher now.
Heart of Stone.
Heart of Stone.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but yeah, actually, RPG games as well. Like, mad. I love them. Like, you know them, all the Bethesda games.
Did you play the original Fallouts?
No. Didn't even know they were a thing
Neither
until
did I.
Fallout 3 came along. And I still haven't played them, to be honest.
the original first.
Yeah.
I would like. Do you know the way we're obviously in the age of remasters.
Yeah.
Fallout 1 and 2, because I actually went back and had a look at the stories, and they're so good. Fallout 1 features an enemy called the Master, who's a scientist who was working for big bad bollocks, we'll call him, and he falls into like this vat of liquids or something, generic shit, and he comes out a mutated ball of shit.
As you do.
Yeah. And like any people that come by, he like absorbs them and stuff, and like he becomes this monstrous beast, and he becomes all infused with like metal and stuff, and as Derrin called it before, like the unholy infusion of metal and man is so unnatural that it looks disturbing.
Yeah.
And when you see this person come up on the screen, it's like skin stretched across it like a TV, and like it
just looks fucking.
It looks
off-putting.
If you were to remaster that and really crank the horror elements up to like 11, that would scare the shit out of any child. And that's actually, do you know the Super Mutants?
Yeah.
He was the founder. That's why he's called Master.
Yeah. I remember like reading some like wiki thing on it. Yeah.
And like I've seen, and like he talks, his voice is actually the voice of the people he's absorbed. So like you'll hear like a woman talk shallowly through his voice. Like his voice is robotic, but it comes through as different tones of people, and they're all the people he's absorbed over the years. Like, it's such a fucking cool character. Like it's a shame that it's lost to the recesses of time.
Yeah, like you can play him now, but just they look a bit dated now.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the problem we have. We're too spoiled with graphics nowadays.
Yeah. So yeah.
What was it? RPGs. Like I remember the first real RPG I played, we mentioned earlier, was The Lord of the Rings, the Third Age. And I remember buying it thinking that it was a open world combat kind of game.
Like the Return of the King, whatever.
Like, not even Return of the King, like if we bring it back to modern times, like Ghost of Tsushima. I thought it was like that.
Oh yeah.
Like, let's say Shadow of Mordor would eventually become.
Yeah.
I thought it was like that, and I remember being really fucking upset and pissed off that it wasn't.
I've been lied to.
Yeah, I felt lied to. I was like, what is this shit? Because I love the idea of another fellowship working behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, that's what the story was. Yeah, they basically had like a fucking Aldi version of every.
Yeah. There's like
it's a fucking little Legolas.
And she was a woman. I can't remember any of the names, but and like there was the main guy.
Aldi Aragorn.
Yeah, he was another like Gondorian, and his name was like Baratheon or Omir or
Barry.
Something. Barry. Just think of that. I just think your man Barry Scott in Lord of the Rings. Hi, I'm Barry Scott. And he cleaning the fucking ring or something.
Wait, fucking Penny dropping the ring into fucking sit it back.
Bang. And Sauron is gone.
Yeah.
But like I remember playing that and being so upset, but I played through it anyway because when you're younger, as we say, you don't get much option.
It's going to be a while before you're getting another game.
It's going to be a long time before you go in and get another game. And they had a 2 for $50 deal, so we got that and we got some other bollocks. And we played through it. I got the whole way through the game, not knowing how to play it, and I still managed to beat it. And at the end I remember just going, yeah, that's good. And now I look at it through rose-tinted glasses because I was like, I went in with such low expectations that I went good. And I went back and I played the game recently and I was like, fuck, it's still actually class.
Does it hold up?
Yeah, it's still class.
Like I remember like it was basically like a reskin Final Fantasy X kind of.
Yeah, it is pretty much.
But done well, like.
Yeah.
With Lord of the Rings official license, like so.
The only problem I have is that there is some segments where you just get too swarmed with, like every 5 seconds you barely advance and you're like dropped into another like combat encounter.
Yeah.
And I just that drove me nuts because I want to make a bit of progression. Like, whereas the Bridge of Barad-dûn in Lord of the Rings, in the Fellowship of the King, it's where the Balrog that isn't too sure. That area there, like obviously in the movie they're swarmed with orcs and all, but they just dialed it up to fucking 100. And like every 5 steps you encounter, and obviously you have to pick up health items and all as you go, and those are just getting drained. Oh, that part was tough. That really pissed me off in that game. The rest of it was a doddle.
I had that game as well. I can't remember. I remember, getting around to that area, but I can't remember it like being hard, or maybe I got to there and then just quit. So didn't definitely finish it anyway.
We're going to wrap it up soon, but here's another topic that I never really dived into anyone else, but I think I'm going to dive into you because you were a few years older than me, so you'd remember it a lot better than I do. The contrast of how games are bought nowadays. So nowadays you have so much option that the likes of GameStop, HMV, all these places are run out of fucking business basically. GameStop is hanging on by selling shitty jumpers for €100 a pop and whatnot. Do you remember when you were younger and it was the day you were being brought to get a game? Like, do you remember that feeling of going in and looking through the games? And because there was no online or anything, everything was wonder.
It was a fucking lottery what you were getting.
Yeah.
So you had no clue if this is good or not, right?
Like, do you remember being brought to GameStop and like any specific moments that stand out, like where you went into GameStop and you were like either blown away or you were just like, oh, fuck, I don't know what I'm going to do because you picked up these 2 games, you can only afford one. And like there was no internet, so you can't review and you have to like make that, like there was a dance inside your brain, what am I going to do?
You just basically, how did you pick? I don't know.
Like I remember cover art being a massive one because
that
you couldn't go online.
The look of it like was a big part of it. Like that's a big part of it. Right? Yeah, what the cover back and what it said on the back of it.
Yeah, like we mentioned it earlier. Star Wars Jedi Power Battles. The PS2 was in full swing when I went in and got that game because GameStop obviously, as the new generation come out, they devote the majority of the store to those, and they push, like let's say when PlayStation 2 is dying off, they push it to the far end of the store and keep condensing it down until the console is essentially gone. They were just about done with the PlayStation 1 and they had a tiny little rack of PlayStation 1 games, and me and my brother weren't getting the PlayStation 1 until Christmas time of the year after it came out. And we didn't care, we just played a PlayStation 1. Like we were only like let's say if it was 2002 we would have only been 6, so we didn't really give a shit. We just
could be anything.
Yeah. So we went over and we were huge Star Wars fans because we had seen the Phantom Menace and we saw the lightsabers and we watched all the old ones and we were like, Jesus Christ, we love Star Wars. And we went in and we happened to see this game that looked really unfamiliar, Star Wars Jedi Power Battles. We brought it home and holy fucking shit, it was amazing.
You don't get that anymore where these hidden gems where you just haven't a clue what it's going to be and you bring it home and then you're like, holy fuck, this is actually good.
Yeah.
Or you could have I don't remember like ever getting a game though. When you're that age, anything can be. The game could be pure shite, and you're still going to enjoy it.
I think it's because you have to devote. You have to devote to it. You can't just watch a YouTube video of the game you should have got.
Shut your mind to the fact that it's shit, and just you're going to like it. God damn it!
Yeah, I'm going to finish this game. Like compare now. Like I know, obviously, because we're a lot busier with jobs and whatnot, but your ratio of finishing games that you've got now compared to then is a completely different like mine's a fucking.
And especially with
crazy
on
now.
PC where the games are like from a few years ago, they're gone down to like £2. So you're like, I'll buy that. Yeah, I'll buy that. And then half the games I've never even actually started. Like, if I looked at it,
like my Steam folder, there's been stuff there that I've installed and just deleted, installed, delete. Like I've been trying very hard to pick games now that I know I will finish over time. Like a big thing for me is I look up how long the game's going to take because I can't devote to a game that's going to take 50
That's
hours.
another switch as well. Like before you'd be like, I want 100 hours out of this game.
Yeah.
But now you're like, Jesus
Whereas
Christ.
the likes of FIFA, because it was endless, you were getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
But I remember like playing what game was it, and I've been horrendously disappointed how slow it was it, do you remember Erigol, the movie?
Yeah.
Briefly.
Maybe.
Jeremy Irons was in it with fucking some other prick.
Was there a dragon or something?
Dragons, yeah. And I remember playing that, and it was so like short of being like, what waste of money, and the game
Real
was piss poor.
movie tie-in, fucking pure shite.
Yeah,
Do you
remember the Narnia games, but they weren't even that bad. Like, but
I never played them.
No, that's obviously after your time. But like I remember going in, and obviously, as I said before, when the PlayStation 2 came out, games were about €50 a pop. Unlike now,
were they that deal back then?
Yeah. €50, and I remember they were doing a deal of 2 for $50 on games that were, let's say, not new, but they were old.
Yeah.
Like, let's say they were last season's games.
Yeah.
So we get 2 for €50, but they were about €40 each. Like, so I remember going in, and I remember specifically this GameStop is still open in Kilkenny. It's the same fucking layout of the shop. You walk straight through the door, and there's a column with new games on it. They had that there when I was younger, and obviously a bit different, but I remember straight away seeing the game I was picking up. Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Oh, I had that.
And it was part of the 2 for $50 deal. So we were like, what will we get with it? And just like, Jesus, what am I going to get with it? And I remember my mother, and this is a bad start to a story, no matter what you can do. My mother giving her opinion. We went home with Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and if you've ever played it, it's so much fun. Blasting away his Jango Fett, figuring out his origin story, and unlocking the cool jetpack, all that kind of shit. And Harry Potter, Quidditch.
That's what she got?
That's what her recommendation was.
Was it good?
Well, I won the World Cup with Ireland in it. But
on the boys in green!
On the fucking lads, boy. And whichever, like, you had to play through the club league first. If you won it with, like, Gryffindor.
They should do a Quidditch Manager 2020.
Harry Potter comes in. I want more fucking wages, boy. This is out of order. But that was it. And, like, I remember, like, being like, fuck that game. And Jango Fett game was tough, but I remember just, like, really wanting to plough through it and all. And then, like, coming up against, like, a Sith Lord, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get and I was really intense. Like, nowadays I just turn the game off. I know it's too hard. And one last thing is PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you have big memory of PlayStation 1?
Yeah, bits and pieces. Yeah.
What was your favourite game for PlayStation 1?
Favourite game for PlayStation 1? Jeez, what would have been? Probably would have been Monster Rancher 2. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of it.
It was unbelievable. It was like, I don't know which came first, like that or Pokemon. Must have been, maybe it was a rip-off Pokemon.
I do remember this. I do remember you telling me about this game. Explain
this game was basically like Pokemon, where you collect monsters, but the catch was, the way you got new monsters in it was you had to put a CD from, like, you know, like your CD collection. Could be games, music, the albums, like anything like that. And you take the Monster Hunter game out of the PlayStation, and you put the CD in, and then it would do a whole think like it was summoning this monster.
A generator.
Yeah, a generator, a random number generator, probably think. And then you get the monster out of it, and then you could combine monsters, fuse them together, splice them together, whatever. Anyway, but it was unbelievable. You would then get the monster, and it was kind of like a Tamagotchi then, where, you know, you could feed it and train it and shit like that. And if you worked it too hard, like if you cracked the whip, the thing would die in a fucking couple of weeks, and you'd be out all the money you spent on it raising it. You know, it really taught you life lessons as well. And then you'd bring them off to tournaments, and you wouldn't actually control. I don't think you could control the monster, but you'd have trained them and taught them moves and stuff like that, and then you just basically let them off in the tournament, and you'd watch it, and you'd be like, "Fucking come on!" Like we've a load of us watching, like, "Come on, you fucking bastard, come on!"
It's actually
like cockfighting.
You told me that when we were working together, and I remember going and looking up. There is actually a forum online that tells you what CDs generate what character.
Oh man!
And it's hundreds long. Like, that game was...
My father had a really fucking massive CD collection, and we literally would get hundreds of them. Just he'd have them all organised and shit like that. We just fucking walking up the stairs with fucking hundreds of CDs and just fucking them in then, and then just, if it was nothing good in it, fuck that CD, fucking use it. Oh god, that was it. So that was one of the most memorable PS1 games that you have anyway.
Like, if you think about that technology,
they need to remake that. That would be unbelievable. Although there's not much CDs. What would you do instead of it?
What could you put in?
QR codes or something.
Yeah. It'd be like Pokemon Go.
Why? What? I never actually played that.
Pokemon Go. We'll talk about that in another episode.
Okay.
Well, I remember that game. That game is like, remember like what was it, Sky Warriors, or remember the Disney like where you
Skylanders.
Skylanders, and what was the Disney one where you put down the characters onto the tile, like the
There's a Lego thing as well.
Lego Dimensions, yeah. Like Monster Rancher 2. Monster Rancher 2, like
if you're gonna be playing it, let's get Monster Rancher 2.
Like, is that like we're talking 20 years in the difference, and that's how far we've come in gaming.
Yeah.
Right. So everyone, we're going to leave it there.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming on. This was a lot of fun. We might do it again sometime.
Maybe if you have another Switch to sell or something like that.
Yeah, I'll dig up my DS's. Yeah. My Game Boy. I actually have a good game on it called Attack of the Clones. You'll love it. Thank you so much. We should have our regular stars back on the show next time. Thank you very much.
Don't worry.
Yeah. So, round of applause for Richard.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's been an honour.
Hey there, thanks for reaching the end of our video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also hit that bell notification.